Hey guys, Dabu7. We have a bit of a warning here out of the UK, as we have a former expert here at the Bank of England warning the bank that the UK must plan for a financial crisis that could be triggered here at any moment when the United States announces the existence of another life form. Helen McCall served as a senior analyst in financial security at the UK's central bank. She has wrote to Andrew Bailey, the Bank of England's governor, urging him to set out contingency plans in case the White House divulges all this information. Now, she worked there for 10 years and said the politicians and bankers can no longer afford to dismiss talk of alien life, if you will, and warned that a declaration of this nature could trigger massive bank collapse. And it really could be the one big thing that puts all the reset into motion. You need the entire globe to reset. This would be something that affects everyone. Now, she reportedly said the United States government appears to be partway through a multi-year process to declassify and disclose information on the existence of technology coming from an advanced non-human intelligence. She goes on to cite the UAPs, all the videos dropped, and we've covered this. For crying out loud, they showed us they hit a freaking UFO or UAP with a Hellfire missile, blew it to pieces, and all the pieces kept flying. With the main part, there's something going on here. We're on the cusp, I believe, of that big announcement here at any time. And it will be Trump that comes out and makes this. They just made it clear they're waiting on the U.S. to do it. It will be us. We're the ones at the forefront of doing this. And when it happens, it really could set everything into motion for a reset. So we're not the only ones out here. You have experts in the banking field out here warning about this event and that people must prepare because people are going to freak out. Well, this is what it is. Regardless, we know that this is the fallen and that the governments are in cahoots with them and that they're already here. But the masses, how will they react when this information is broke? That's what it's all about. Join me for the live streams going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, talking about this in greater detail. Hope to see you there.
Okay, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. I want to give double honor to my apostles and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the Israelites that have been scattered all around the world, which we refer to as the Israelite foreigners. All right, this is going to be a response to a post that was made by Dabu77. I'm going to put the clip up of the video. Okay, fair use for educational purposes only. Okay, yeah, as you can see on the title, it says, prepare for financial collapse. Bank of England warned to be ready for crisis triggered by aliens. All right. And I found this interesting because it said a financial collapse triggered by aliens. Okay. What's that about, man? Okay. You know, what's this whole thing about aliens about? All right. Because we know that the so-called UFOs, which they're not unidentified, they're identified in the scriptures, the Holy Bible. Okay. We know that the so-called UFOs have been showing their presence on a consistent basis in these present times. Okay. And us that's in the truth, that believe in Yahweh Shemiel Shai, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father and His Son. All right, we have the understanding on what that is. That's the chariots of the Lord, man. Okay, so you know you got reports coming out about a bank collapse triggered by aliens, man. All right, and that's the spirit, man, because you know this aligns with biblical prophecies, man, because we know that the word alien just means a foreigner. Okay. All right, and any beings that's not that's not from this realm, if you will, we know that that's talking about the angels, man. All right. Now you got angels on the left hand side, which are really demons, all right, or spirits created for vengeance, and then you have the angels on the right hand side, which is the holy angels, man. Okay, the righteous angels, man. Okay, the angels sent to minister unto the Lord and protect the Most High's elect. Okay, okay. Angels have many offices, man. All right, like I said, you got angels on the left hand side, you got angels on the right hand side, man. Okay, and the angels are the ones operating the ships, the so-called UFOs. Okay, which they are really called the chariots of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Okay, and we know that according to prophecy, man, the Lord is coming back with the chariots, man. Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna get a couple scriptures on that, and I'm gonna wrap this up. Zechariah chapter 5 verse 1. It says, "Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll, and the length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 20 cubits. Then he said unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, and every one that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it." All right, you see that? So it said this is the curse that goeth over the face of the whole earth. It's talking about the chariots, man. Where it said he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. It's talking about the chariots of the Lord, man. Okay, the chariots, which are the so-called UFOs, all right, the common look for the chariots is what? The flying saucer, all right, the circular disc, all right, the flying disc object, man, all right, and the scriptures, it described it as a flying roll, man. Okay, a roll is a circular object, man. Okay, and we know that the chariots, like I said, what you call that, the casual or because you got chariots that come in different shapes, sizes, as it says right here. Okay, but the usual chariot is usually a disc, a circular disc. Okay, shape. So like I said, this is the curse that goeth over the face of the whole earth, right? Because the chariots making their presence known and what they would call invading the earth. Really, they're not invading the earth, man, because the earth belongs to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the creator of heaven and earth. Okay, and the chariots are a part of the Lord's one part of the Lord's creation. Okay, so they're not invading anything. All right, but when they make their presence known, okay, and when that time comes, okay, these chariots, all right, these chariots being present, it's not a good sign. It's not a good indication for the powers that be. All right, the wicked that's in rulership right now. Okay, and that's the descendants of Esau, Edom, the Edomites, man. Which today they would be called you so-called white people, man. All right, you got different tribes of Esau, Edom, man. All right, the top tribe is who? Tribe of Amalek, man. Okay. Which is the small hat, big nose, small hats, man. All right, or like my elder Gad would say, gefilte fish eaters. Right? You know what I'm saying? That's who's ruling the earth. Okay? And, it's going to be a curse unto them. Okay? So, this is not a good indication for them, man. All right? And they trying to blame this economic collapse on the angels, man. And that's the spirit, man, because it's all coming together, man. All right? You got the economy about to collapse. The dollar is on its way out. All right? Nations are dumping the dollar. Okay? Doing away with the dollar. Using their own currency for their resources. Okay? That's why the U.S. They're going on a conquering rampage right now, talking about taking Greenland, threatening to bomb Iran. They already took Venezuela, right? And so forth and so on, and pending, right? You got Russia dealing with Ukraine. You got China with Taiwan, all right? And the list goes on, man. Okay? But yeah, we see all these things happening at once, man. They talking about bringing in the cashless society, CBDCs, digital currencies, okay? This is all prophecy, man, all right? And we just entered 2026, and so many things is happening, man. Okay, it can no longer be denied, man, that we are in these last days, man. It's not up for debate, all right. But yet somehow you still got these Christians and these false religions still bucking up, still trying to debate, still pertaining to as if the Most High is dealing with them, okay. But if the Most High was dealing with you, you would have understanding on what's going on. You know, these guys don't know what the what's coming, all right? Those that believe in the Bible, they don't know what the RFID chip is, all right? They don't know what the MOTB is, which is the RFID chip implant, okay? They don't know that World War III is coming, and they don't know how it's gonna play out, all right? They don't know a lot of things, man, okay? And these other religions, they can't even. You know, just look at them Arabs over there in the Middle East. You know, over there in Palestine, getting blown away. Where's their Islamic deity? Where, you know, their false god? Where's Allah? Okay. You know, they've been calling on Allah for all these decades, and Allah ain't never did nothing for them. Okay, but our power is doing for us. He's waking up the elect, and he's making these prophecies to speak, as it says in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. All right, so that's why it said, everyone that stealeth shall be cut off. All right, and who's the thief that's mentioned in St. John 10:10? Okay, that's the so-called white man going around stealing everything, man, as he always been doing. Okay, so his time is coming, man. His downfall is coming. All right, so let me get I guess I'll get one more scripture. Get Isaiah 66 and verse 15. And that's going to be the end of it. Isaiah chapter 66 verse 15. For behold, Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. So there you go. Okay. It said the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind. Okay. You know, the scriptures tell you that, matter of fact, let me get, my bad. I know it's Psalms 104 and 3. Let me see. Let me just go to it. Psalms 104 and 3. All right. I'm sorry for the hold up. Psalm chapter 104 and verse 3. It says, who layeth the beams of the chambers in the waters? Who maketh the clouds his chariot? Who walketh upon the wings of the wind? All right. That's Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. All right. And the point is, it said, who maketh the clouds his chariot? Okay. You know, the scriptures tell you that the Most High, you know, used the chariots as a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. Okay. So we know that that's talking about what the world knows as the so-called UFOs, man. Okay. Those are the chariots of the Lord. And if you want more, understanding on that, you could go to the book of Daniel, I believe 7 and 9, where it talks about, you know, his wheels, man. His wheels is talking about the chariots, man. Okay. So, like I was reading in Isaiah 66 and 15, man. All right. It said by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh. All right. Because them chariots, they're going to have the power to shoot laser beams or concentrated fire out of the chariot, man. Okay. And we know that according to prophecy that there's going to be a war against Yahweh Shah versus you know these heathen nations, man. All right, beginning with the so-called white men. Okay, the scriptures tell you that in Revelation 12:7, man, about the war in heaven. You know, and that's Esau. He's gonna fight against the chariots of the Lord, according to the scriptures, man. That's also in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. All right, they're gonna fight against the Lord, man. All right, because all them troops gonna be down there in the Middle East, man. All right, in the Persian Gulf, man. Okay, that's all according to prophecy. So it all links together, man. It all links together.